Okay, people, boy, do I got a treat for you. I got so much to explain here. We're gonna walk this rock wall that goes all the way down and around, and it's gonna be mind-blowing. First, I need to explain, most people understand, but there's a lot of newcomers, but how the pieces get the flat edges and how the tree breaks down in today's world and the biblical trees, the way they broke down. And these pieces with the flat edges could be this size. They could be as large as an apartment building, large as a city bus, large as a washing machine. And due to the way the structures of the trees are with the fibers, they just keep breaking down. But these pieces here are so preserved, going all the way down, and I'll be able to show you a bunch of things. This is really an incredible video here. So I want you to look here, okay? We're gonna cover this. So I've explained in my last periodic table video about the cambium layer that's underneath the bark. That's the feldspar, okay? And you look up top here, and how people cannot see this, I don't know. So a family from the Appalachians from Pennsylvania flew out here to meet me here, and he's worked in the coal mine, and he said that a lot of the coal pieces, they burn coal there, they would break it open and find petrified wood inside that hasn't coalified yet, so to speak. But all these black pieces that you'll see, they're small pieces, chips of wood, and they call them like garnets and stuff, but they're almost like turned to coal. And this would be the cambium layer up against the tree. And you got to understand, this cambium layer could have been 10, 20, 30, who knows how thick. And then the bark laid on top of the cambium layer. So I'm going to move along here. I just want to show you this. So we're going to move on down and we'll look at some of this. I'll get up closer to some of this when I get up here. When I get into the shade over here and my shadow's not there, I'll be able to show you more. But I want you to understand that, so I've been doing a job for a landscaping company. I've been cutting and splitting a mountain pile full of wood. And I block it down to 12, 18-inch sections, and then I split it. But a lot of the bark comes off, and you see the same thing here. So that would be the wood. And you see all the mica in there. That's all part of the bark, okay? I've told you that the mica is the bark. This is truly incredible. And then you got the sap, which is the quartz. Look at this piece. It's incredible. And these pieces here would represent a grain of sand in the whole ocean, each piece. That's how small and insignificant they are. Hey, look at this one. So I got Marvin over there from Pennsylvania. I mean, this piece here is just incredible. It really, really is. I want you to look at this up close. It looks like it's just fresh, like you just peeled the bark off of it. Marvin, look at this piece right here really close. It's really incredible. Like you just peeled the bark off from the tree. All right, we're in the shade now and no shadow. I'll be able to show you some things down here. There are some incredible pieces down here. So I told you that the cambium layer underneath the bark, that's what this would be right here. This would have been the outside of the tree right here. And you see up here, and it just goes on and on and on for an 80-mile radius. Look at this. See, so I believe that this is part of the tree, and this is part of the bark and the cambium layer. Look at all the bark that turned to mica. And I should have got a piece of bark. Here, I'm gonna go up here and show you real quick. Hold on. So if you look at the bark, okay, and underneath the bark is the cambium layer. But all these pieces right here all turned to mica. And this bark on the biblical trees could have been 10, 20, 30 feet thick. Okay, so let's get down here. Look at that. It's like the tree ends here, and then your cambium layer and your bark would start going that way. And this is just like the bark that peeled off and the cambium layer from the tree. Look at this. Still got a lot of the tree attached to it. It's weathered and worn and smooth and rounded. So this would have been the tree attached to this side, and the cambium layer right here could have been 10, 20, 30 feet thick, and on the other side would have been the bark attached to it. So when I'm splitting and cutting all this cured wood, a mountain of wood, and as I split it, it pops the bark off, and you see the exact same thing underneath, just like this. That is like the perfect job for me. So this would have been the tree side, and this is the cambium layer. How people cannot see this. Even showing it to some of these people, they're like, this guy's cuckoo. This is the bark right here. Look at that. And this is so this is the tree right here, okay? And the bark and the cambium layer would have been here. But the bark wasn't this thick. It was probably 10, 20, it's hard saying how thick the bark was. And this is just a little bit that's left stuck to the tree. It's just a small section. It is incredible. See, this would have been the bark, but it wasn't just thin, it was feet thick, feet upon feet. And it's just a small section. Just like here, this is the tree. This is where the bark would have started, the cambium layer, and then the bark. Turn this up, and that would have been the side of the tree, and this part would have been the cambium layer. It's just, oh, I wish I could find a piece to show you. Just like here. If this was turned up like that, the tree would have been on this side, and that would have been part of the bark and the cambium layer that you would peel off the tree, like as if you're pulling bark off. And all these pieces that you see here, they're like colified. They're small pieces of wood and bark. So you see in here, and when you look at it close, you can see the fibers in it, just like any other piece of wood. This is incredible. It looks just like bark from at least my vantage point. Once again, this is laid on the side. Actually, this is correct. So the tree would have been here. This is like a grain of sand in the whole ocean, and then the bark would have started here and went out for feet upon feet upon feet. And this is just one of them little pieces. Look at this. This is incredible. All of this is part of the tree. They'll have some crazy thing where mica and all the different minerals come from, but it was in the tree. This is really an incredible piece. They're all incredible. So we just got to go around that corner, but that is just, there's no words for it. Just Google the cambium layer of a tree and you'll see what I mean. It's underneath the bark. It feeds the tree. So you come over here, you still see some of the tree attached to it. And this would have been the cambium layer. If this is turned on its side, that would have been the side of the tree, and that would have been the cambium layer, and then the bark on the other side. And this is just a small section. This was probably double digits feet thick. Still got some of the tree attached to it. Yeah, I really don't think people understand or comprehend the size of what an 80-mile wide tree would consist of. How insignificant these large pieces are. They're literally like a grain of sand in the whole ocean, each one of them. Some more of the tree attached to the cambium layer. Look at this. This is all part of the bark. Some more of the tree attached to the cambium layer. Look at this. So my shadow's gonna start showing up. Look at this. These people in the truck think we're crazy. Look at that. All wood, but they call it garnets. I'm gonna go back through and get pictures of a lot of this. Look at these couple pieces up here. Watch. Look at that. That is incredible. Look at this piece up here. It's like they just peeled the bark off of it down to the cambium layer. It's truly incredible. I'm going to take you over here real quick and show you these two pieces, and we'll put this to an end. You see back behind the hotel. But it's literally an 80-mile radius, and it is not. You know, I'm kind of the author of this, so to speak. I've been up here more times than I can count, and it's definitely one tree. It's not individual trees. It's like one massive broken off stump. It's so large I could never show it to you in its entirety. Read Ezekiel 31 literally. So you see this, the tree, this would be the cambium layer, the feldspar. And I'm sure it's different with different trees. Look at this. I could spend 10 lifetimes up here and never show you the size of it. It really gives truth to the Bible for those that struggle or do not believe the crazy stories. All right, guys. Look at this, is just so insane. All right. And all these pieces in here are just ground up pieces of tree they use for landscaping. Look at this. All of it is so crazy. All of this stuff. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is it's just mind-blowing. It's fascinating. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think.